if I saw somebody like that in LA looked exactly like that, I wouldn't look twice. I'd just be like, oh, that's cool. And then keep going, right? Like they just have like rad makeup, but it's like, you're going out, you're extra. Like, but actually,
100%. Like when I'm at the rave, that's like what you like.
yeah.
Been that club kid where I'm like, yes, I'm wearing the most outlandish thing you've ever seen. I'm sparkly and I'm shiny and I'm covered in glitter.
Painted green, got some rot going on. And I'd be like, all right, sweet, let's go.
I'm glitter, bitch.
Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide, Disco Citizens, the podcast where gorehounds
and best friends, Terry Gamble
and Julia Marchesi, break down a different horror movie each week,
exploring a multitude of genres, subgenres,
and subgenres,
classic and cult,
international
and underground flicks alike, determining which films are the goriest,
and offering up Horror Movie Survival Guide tips to help you
stay alive.
Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide, Disco Citizens. I am Julia.
And I'm Terry. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Well, this week,
so excited.
Let's get into it. It's 2025's Queens of the Dead. Title of this episode is Working for Tips. This was written by Aaron Judge and Tina Romero, who also directs. She is George Romero's daughter. So how fucking cool to direct a zombie movie. I love it.
The legacy lives on, but also not just any zombie movie, a zombie movie like about your community, a zombie movie that is just like so
Super
fun and
queer.
delightful and so queer and so delightful. And like, I'm so excited for Pride Month to have this movie be featured. I am like over the moon, and we had friends in it as well too. I know Zero Gravity, you got to be zombified for this as well, and some other folks in this movie. So I'm so stoked. This is going to be great.
Yeah, let's get into it. We got a drag queen heading to church talking about she got to pray. God's got to do a little thing. She's gonna go in there. She's gonna put it in her little donation in the box and say, I get it, working for tips hard.
Like Jesus was working for tips. She was working for tips. And she's walking through the church when it's like, there's no one in there. She's going there in between, like where you can go to, like Catholic churches are typically open for Julia. I don't know if you know that. You can just walk in and like go, check out the church and see how pretty it is or whatever, but also go in and pray, maybe do a confession. But
I've noticed that churches in America don't do that. Churches in Europe do that. I have always been like
here too.
At night, like Catholic, anytime.
Not always at night, but Catholic churches typically during the day, like how she's doing, like on a Sunday morning or whatever it is, like morning after she's gone out partying or whatever. Like you can walk in there and do that. There's some churches around town that I've gone and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna go check it out. Just want to go see. I'll go touch the little holy water, do a little blah blah blah. It's fine. I was not raised Catholic, for those who don't know. So I was like, I just go there and I just do my little thing. I just go in there and check little confessional booths, whatever. You can go in there and check it out. So she's getting trade in the church though. She's getting on her little app, her little like Grindr style app that's in this movie. She's getting a message from Choir Daddy. So she's like, ooh, some little priest or some little, somebody in the church who's also a gay, is blowing up this drag queen's phone. Oh, okay, great. Sure.
And he is a super hot priest, but he's also a zombie and he's going to bite her. And that is how the chaos of this movie is going to begin.
Bitten in the church. Oh, take me to church. And so we get a smash cut into the incredible Nina West, who is one of the RuPaul's Drag Race girls, and just a delight and a ray of motherfucking sunshine, dressed as Mother Mary, practicing a drag number at Club Yum for this party, at this club called Yum. The party, delicious, yum. And so we also get our lovely doing the drag number. We also get all these fun little dancers and stuff like that too, backup dancers that are dressed like Jesus, because it's Easter, and so this is an Easter movie, which I also think is delightful. We don't get a lot of Easter horror, and so this is a really fun one. I'm like I can play this every Easter now. This is hilarious.
Well, zombies and Easter go together,
zombie
don't they?
Jesus, yeah, we love zombie Jesus, right? He's one of our favorite zombies. And then we cut to a hospital, where we're going to get the incredible Jaquel Spivey, the waiting Tony Award-winning amazingness from Strange Loop. Half this cast from Strange Loop is in this movie. So one of my favorite Broadway shows. It's an incredible show. One of the gayest things I've ever seen on Broadway. And Broadway's already pretty gay, but to see something that's incredibly queer, very Black, very gay is an incredible show. So they're one of the stars from that. So I was like, I know we're going to get them to sing at some point in this movie because I know the pedigree of this voice.
And they're working as a nurse in a hospital handing out Jello shots. So I'm assuming this is just a regular Jello, but he's just making it club fun vibe because it's Easter. But it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
But supervisor does not approve.
It's such a sweet thing to do, like, when you're just trying to, like, make a holiday festive. If you're gonna be in the hospital, trying to make it delightful for the people, and you can this is, like, the best bedside manner. This is the person you want taking care of you, because 'cause they're gonna make sure that you're, doing okay, but also give you a little fun while you're not feeling as well. And they're told to go to room 420, which I was just like, "That's
Mm-hmm.
funny," of course, for an impatient patient that's in that room. We meet, our friend Jane, who, is not sure what's going on, is taken maybe overdosed on some drugs or something like that, maybe a bad batch of something. But they wake up in that room and they're like, get dead named immediately. And they're like, no, 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 my name is Jane. Please don't call me the other name you just tried to call me here in the hospital. And they're not having the best experience overall, but it's going to be okay.
So that is Eve Lindley, who is playing Jane, and everyone is calling in sick. We're also going to meet Lizzie, played by Riki Lindhome, who is the fiance of Dre, who we're about to meet, and she is a nurse in that hospital as well. So it's she, and we also it is important that she has a car called Barbara. That's important.
Yes, it's an old Impala, which was my first car. I was like,
Was it?
"Oh, I had a" yeah, my grandpa gave me his old 1979 Chevy Impala. I had an Impala as well. So I was like, "Oh, I know that car, and that's an oldie but a goodie." And, of course, it's
That's
named
so
Barbara.
cute. Of
Little
course,
shout
because
out.
if you
Mhm.
don't have "They're Coming to Get You, Barbara" in a Romero movie, what are you doing, right? Tina gets it. We know this.
Barbara's gotta come to get you later, right?
Yeah.
She's definitely gonna be that car, for sure.
So we are going to go backstage to where things are getting ready here at Club Yum. Dre is making her way in. This is Katy O'Brian, who was so tremendous in Love's Lies Bleeding. She's also
Yes.
in The Running Man, and she's really great in this. So she's the person who's putting together Club Yum, and everything is falling apart because everybody's calling in sick, including the headliner, Yasmin, played by Dominique Jackson. Just cheekbones for
From
days.
Pose. Yes, one of the
Yeah.
amazing stars from Pose. Just wow.
Hmm.
That's a star. She's a star.
Yes,
She
she
gets it.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
full star, but she calls him
Given
"sick," quote, unquote. She's
right.
not sick.
She had a better offer, which I feel like is a very modern thing to do. It's just like, oh no, sorry, I have a better offer. But it's also some of them are leaving because like, oh, I have a paid offer that this is not paying. So you're getting that, they make fun of Dre in this movie for like, she's getting too old for this. She's 35. Why are you still club promoting? You should be doing something a little bit more adult. And we have a feeling that this is probably going to be the last night of this Club Yum, either vampire or zombies or no. It's probably the last one.
Things seem like they're winding down, and it's getting harder to keep everybody together. We also get like the invasion of the influencer culture that's kind of messing up nightlife too, which I think is a really valid conversation of like people are go to like an event because they just want to go get the picture or go next to the thing, and everything in the room is fake, that they're in the room with, that Yasmin is going to. It's like this glitter vodka that she's trying to like sell, that she's like, ugh, she doesn't even really drink it. She doesn't like it. She's like pretending to drink it in the picture and spits it right out when she's done. Like all the artifice that happens in that type of nightlife, or the feigned nightlife that goes out there to thousands of people that are following and watching, but is anybody really enjoying the consumption? They're being
It's true.
hoodwinked into it. So this
For
movie asks a lot about
uh,
that.
agreed. I think it is good that they bring that into the modern day. I would like
Mhm.
to say for me, the MVP of this movie is Tomas Matos as Nico / Scrumptious, because everything, I'm like that, love it. Every line, every look, everything, perfection.
So hot and so fun. This is our up and coming drag queen who gets to headline now that Yasmin calls out, but also you can tell that they're trying to make their way in this culture as well too, of like, I want to be somebody, I want to be something, I want to be important, but also just like being caught in the middle of these worlds, right? And we're also dealing with our backup dancers, and this is one of my friends, Samora. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to see them in this movie, Samora la Perdida. We were part of the Latinx New Play Festival in La Jolla Playhouse a couple years ago together with a bunch of amazing artists. And so we made friends there, and I was just like, oh, wait, what? You're in this zombie movie? So exciting. And you get to play a zombie? It's a go-go zombie. So the go-go dancer that turns gets zombified, because it looks like maybe she took a bad batch of some drugs, maybe from Nico, aka Scrumptious, our also drug dealer in this movie. could be part of the inciting incident, could be part of the problem here too, um, is incredible. So getting to see them in this was also great.
We also have Barry coming in. He is Lizzie's brother. His name is Quincy Dunn Baker, and he's coming in to fix the toilet, which is clogged in the club. It is clogged by a giant rat. We see that Dre is very afraid of rats and tells him to get out. There is nobody really at this party. Nico Scrumptious comes over to Dre and it's like, Sparse is like a vibe, trying to cheer her up. And like, no,
Yeah, like
no.
it's not going well because a bunch of people, because so many people called out and everyone's following the social media of the person who's promoting it. So they're looking at, Yasmin's stories. So they're all trying to go to this other event, or wherever else they're going to end up, going to for the next hot thing. But they reach out and Lizzie, tries to call and contact Dre, and she offers a solution. Maybe you should get Samonce, their friend Sam, who's also their nurse friend, to go and maybe revive and do a performance. Because whenever they were there back in the day, they used to bring the house down. But clearly, there's been a falling out between Samonce, aka Sam, and Dre, and so they Sam shows up to try to go resurrect, because it's Resurrection Day, ha ha ha,
Mhm.
aka Easter, to resurrect the character of Samonce. So we'll see what happens as the night unfolds.
The drag queen we saw in the very beginning of the movie comes back in zombie form. And so we have a great, now the zombies we're seeing them more in the city. We see them go into the photo booth in the influencer event. There's all sorts of, like, everybody's, because we don't know how far, they're not that far away from each other, right? They're a couple blocks away. That's why they go to the other.
The influencer
Anyway,
event's, like, only supposed to be, like, 2 blocks away, but
right.
all the other stuff they're talking about happening all throughout the city, and we're gonna start getting more, like, reports because Brother Barry's, like, looking at his phone because he is also, like, more in that, like, on the, more on to the right politically speaking. He's a man's man, or dude, a plumber. He's got more of that vibe about him, and so he's looking at other types of news where some of the more conspiracy portion of the internet maybe is percolating. And so Dre doesn't really trust his sources because he's usually a little more fringe ideas. Like, he's more of a prepper. He's got, all
Mhm.
his, like, stuff prepped back at his place, but he doesn't have any of his stuff with him where he's probably going to really need it because the world is literally going through the zombie apocalypse, but they are not prepared. But also the zombie kind of just looks like somebody who's maybe on some bad drugs. They don't look, and they're also like, because these zombies kind of are glittery and sparkly a little bit, like this version of zombie. So they kinda look like party zombies, right? The way
Yeah, like,
they're
I
designed
feel
for
like
them.
this is like the party monster kind of thing, like where you go to a club and you look that far out. If I saw somebody like that in LA looked exactly like that, I wouldn't look twice. I'd just be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then keep going, right? Like, they just have, like, rad makeup, but it's like you're going out, you're extra. Like, but actually, no.
100%. Like, when I'm at the rave, that's, like, what you like, I
Yeah.
been that club kid where I'm like, "Yes, I'm wearing the most outlandish thing you've ever seen. I'm sparkly, and I'm shiny, and I'm covered in glitter."
Painted
Um
green, got some rot going on, and I'd be like, "All right, sweet. Let's go."
I'm glitter, bitch. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, so as this zombie is on the dance floor and kind of starts wreaking havoc as the yum party is going along, and Barry has been checking his internet, like I said, and he is like, that's not a person anymore. That's a freaking zombie. That's something we need to kill. And he tries to throw an axe at it that he breaks free from the, like, fire, like, fire safety area, and he's going to throw it onto one of the staff members there. This is Kelsey, who is hilarious. This is Jack Haven as Kelsey, and they get an axe to the leg, unfortunately, to the ankle, and they end up clearing out the whole club, which is actually the best because now they can actually figure out what's going on outside and actually start making a battle plan to help save themselves for the end of the world.
Everybody gets the emergency alert on their phone that says that there have been multiple aggravated assaults and they're supposed to shelter in place. It is wall to wall panic porn, they say, and we're gonna get a little thing from the mayor, Tom Savini. We love it,
Can't
love
we had to get a
it.
cameo from one of the OGs here, and this is, king of special effects and really of all this zombie madness too.
Yeah.
Gotta get him in there as the mayor, and it's so funny. He gives a very underwhelming speech.
Yep.
Where clearly he's giving shelter in place orders, and it's very of this thing of like from 2020, which I think is fun because they were like, well, we remember getting those shelter in place orders and like the PTSD of that, but
Mhm.
also you can clearly see that he's on a green screen and he's at a party. And somebody comes in and messes with the green screen where he's like on a Zoom to the news, and it's like he's telling people to do something that he's absolutely not doing, right?
Yeah,
Like he's
of
like, do
course.
as I say, not as I do.
But we have the line that, of course, we needed in this movie. This is not a George Romero movie. There is no such thing as a zombie, but there are. So the zombies are also in the hospital. There, where there is a zombie Easter bunny, which I love, munching on an arm.
Incredible. Yeah, the zombie Easter Bunny burst into Jane's room, room 420, and Lizzie's in there puking because they're pregnant and they divulge this. And like they have a whole, conversation, which I think is also very sweet about like, oh my gosh, give me those extra hormones you have from that pregnancy hormone to like Jane's like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. And, they have some heart to hearts about like, care for self and like what that means to take care of yourself. And you do need people, you do need community, you do need, people who care for you and care about you.
Yeah, because
Um,
Jane says that they don't
mhm.
like doctors and that they haven't been able to, like, the transitioning they're doing buying drugs from a drug dealer and not getting a
Yeah.
prescription because they don't like doctors. So Lizzie's a little bit concerned about that. And now that they realize that there are zombies in the hospital, they are going to get out of that place.
They gotta run
Um,
for it, and she saves her
yep.
by knocking the zombie. Like, and Riki Lindhome or Lizzie, like, knocks out with uses the leg to knock out the bunny, and, or not the leg, she uses, like, a fire extinguisher to knock her out, and Jane's like, "Well, that was kinda hot," and she's like, "Yeah, I was, softball, blah, 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 like, all-star," like, she gives her, like, creds, and so we're gonna get a runner of that, of everyone kind of, like, doing something heroic where it's like, "Oh my god, but they actually were a secret jock from back in the day," or something like that, like, they're like which I think is adorable too.
Hmm. So we got Jax, who is this go-go boy, is now a zombie. They're going to lock him in the go-go
Go, go
cage.
them, go,
Lure,
go
lure,
them.
yeah, sorry, go them. Lure them into the cage with some drugs. And
Yeah.
we find out online that the only way to destroy a zombie is to destroy the brain, hashtag decapitate.
But they don't wanna decapitate because 'cause they're like that's why they put them in the cage because 'cause they're like, I don't wanna, like, hello, this is my go-go person." Like, Dre stops Barry from, like, literally decapitating this go-go person, and they're like, "No, no, 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 can't do it." So they're trying to figure out if there's another option or if there's something else, and so they basically leave them in the cage. So I love that Samora gets more time on screen to, like, be there
But I love that
and be in
we
the
never
cage.
see them again. They're just in the
We see them
cage for
like
us.
we see them one more time
Do we?
because, yeah, because Nico comes and tries to see if they're still human inside later on and brings
Oh,
their
yeah, with the
phone
phone.
and
You're right.
tries to phone them. And it's like, "Are you still in there, Jax?" Like, they have a whole conversation to be like, "If you're still human in there, I want you to say something, say words." And instead of trying to say words, they end up, like, eating the phone. So, no, they still have some more nuance about, like, trying to see what happens to you as this,
Mhm.
as this zombification takes hold. So we get the Skins app. This is our like grinder like app that's there that buzzes and that's helping still connect people. I love this during this whole time as well too. Because
But
Nico's
it's for
checking there.
gym rats and twinks only on Skins.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Nico won't let Miss Nina West, our Ginsy Tonic, drag queen, look at the app, which is just so mean. But it does feel that way sometimes with all these apps. It's like Scruff, Grind, this, that. Like they all have these different, like specialty, if you will, specializations. But Yasmin shows up to the bar now. Um, and her opening through an open window that Nico had left open in the dressing room. So they realize the whole building is not secure. And so a zombie's going to try to grab him. And our dear Cheyenne Jackson, who's been one of our bartenders at the bar, gets yanked and pulled out and munched.
Bit so bad, but let's go about face. A scooter gang is about to come on in, headlined by Margaret Cho as Pops, who is Kelsey's fiance. Unexpected and delightful.
Super delightful. And this energy that they come in, like, this is like, I have a friend that always says, like, LLTL, like, leave it to the lesbians, to like get things done. Like, if you need a
Hmm.
fire bill, if you need certain stuff done, like, you know who to call. And I feel like this is the brigade that shows up, like, with that energy of just like, yeah, we got you. Um, and so, in their little like jumpsuits and razor scooters, which is just great.
So she has a plan because there's a boat leaving from Queens and they're at dawn and they're going to be on it. So she just
Leaving
needs to
2
cut.
queens. Yeah, from Manhattan,
Yes.
2 queens.
So
Mhm.
because then it's an island and they should be safe, which we don't know if they will be or not because it's a zombie movie. Who can say? But the false hope of promise is in this other place. But Pops does punch Barry in the face for getting an axe in her girl's leg. And so they say, let's go on drills. Let's get this going. And so she has a drill. She drills a zombie's brain. Everyone's very excited. She's on it, no problem. Already like over the grossness and like on to planning, which I
Oh,
like.
ready to get it done. And everyone's like, and Barry's like, "Whoa, I gotta get me a drill now. Like, that's amazing. That's incredible." Like, he's like impressed by like her prepping skills and like her everything and
Mhm.
ready to go. We cut back to Barbara the Impala being mounted up. But we also realize that Lizzie loses her phone along the way, so she's out of communication now. So they're trying to get a hold of each other as she's trying to make her way home. Lizzie also is not as sure without her GPS how to get to the club, even though she's gone there a million times. It's just one of those things where you put it on and she's under stress. So they're trying to drive to the club, but they're gonna have some detours along the way, maybe get stopped by a zombie mom and baby as they drive.
Yep, zombie baby, very exciting. We have also there's the kind of idea of Pop's friend gets bit, and they're gonna like she's like, all right, I'm bit, take me out. I understand how it is. Like she's fully understands her position. And like, no preemptive stuff. Let's just wait until you turn into a zombie, and then we can do it. But we don't want to kill you as a human, which I think is fair enough.
Yeah, they make a rule. They're like, no preemptive shit anymore. Then that's fine. Like we'll go by that code. Like that works for us. Like, and I think that's
And I
great.
love it that it's, Tina Romero obviously has thought about zombies a whole lot in her life. So, having this where you have all your specific rules, I think is fun because she's like, yeah, that's what dad did, but what do I do? It's a different kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that. And it's like she making her own way.
Mhm.
And so this they're building up their battle plan. They have to figure out. So they're like, we need a vehicle to get everybody out of here. We got to figure out how to everyone gets out of here. We got to but also of course Dre is still waiting for Lizzie to get there. Um but Scrumptious also is like, hey, I know I have an idea. Like they put together the plan of like that influencer event that was just 2 blocks away. They had an ice cream truck there. The truck would be again another ice cream like style truck
Yeah. We just watched
coming in.
Once Bitten a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Coming in could be part of our ice cream truck horror movie montage. Um, and so, they're like, if we get to the truck, that would be enough room for everybody to fit, from here, and we can try to go from there. So they have to send out, a few people to go get it because they have those 3 scooters at least, so they could at least go head over there and try to go get it. So, we have our people that volunteer as tribute. We got our Nina West, our Ginsey Tonic. We got Samonce and Scrumptious are like, all right, we're gonna be the team, and they go over, um,
But
to
they also know that they have to change. It's time for a makeover because first responders are not getting bit. So they're going to pretend to be first responders. See what happens.
but they're first responders clearly in drag, like, just
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, wearing, the stripper edition, like,
Yeah,
who
safety
shows up
vest.
who shows
Yeah.
up to, like, do
I'm a
do the number for
construction
you.
worker.
Oh my god,
I'm a
hot.
paramedic. Yeah.
Yeah, the first responder people, like, the village people, basically, right?
Yeah, it's first
Um,
responder, but make it hot
yeah,
and
absolutely.
gay.
It's very and that.
Yeah, so they decide to go out, and then the place the streets are full of zombies, but most of them are on their phone and not really paying attention to people. So they're able to kind of zip past them over to this place where they find the truck. But suddenly some fucking cops show up and they're gonna steal that truck right out from under their noses.
But are they real cops? Nope,
No.
they're like some stupid, like, punked style, like, prank show, like some pranksters from YouTube or something that are trying to do this prank on them, and they steal the truck kind of right out of them. They scare them out of the truck. And of course, we're gonna get some casualties, unfortunately, along the way. Our Ginsey Tonic is not gonna make it out of this place, but she is gonna inspire her Samonce to press on, literally, to keep continue on because the world needs you. And this is where we have that real, again, talk of community because this is what this movie is really about is like you know also looking at young and old, like of like the older people being like, you don't need to wait for an invitation to be here, like you make your place here, make your way here. And I really love that conversation of like, especially with like Tina doing this movie, it's like you don't have to wait for an invitation to make your own zombie movie. Like you can make your own way, make your own place, make your own freaking thing, make
Mhm.
your version of what this is. Um, and I love that of just like, yeah, get in there and be a part of your community if you choose to be a part of your community. That's your decision. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah. But
Back at
then
Club
mhm,
Yum, the breaker goes, and so now they're gonna have to go down to the box and see what's going on. And Pops accidentally gets locked in the electrical closet. It's written on Sharpie on the door. This door, just do not close it. It locks and you can't open it. They don't have a key. So she ends up getting attacked by zombie rats, which is great. I love it. Bit on bit everywhere, and she ends up electrocuting herself to take herself out and take all the rats out with her. And so she sacrifices herself and tells him to get Kelsey safe.
yeah, it's pretty devastating, but also what a great way to go. I mean, that's
Yeah,
a great
zombie
death. If
rats.
you're gonna die like in a film, like that's pretty badass. And of course, Margaret Cho would die in a badass way in a movie. Like, of course, of course.
Of course.
Um, And so, it's pretty devastating. And this is where we also get zombie baby, moment with Lizzie. She
Mhm.
gets kind of, her heartstrings hit her because she is pregnant now too. She's thinking like a mom and like what she would do. And so she sees this lady and she's like, maybe I could help her. And Jane in the car is like, don't get out. Like, that's not a person, I don't think. And that's probably not anything good. But we realize that that is a zombie mom with a zombie baby, and the car gets surrounded by all these zombies. Um, but oh, but as that's happening, this is when the electrocution's happening. But of course, final words from Margaret Cho, we can't forget. She tells them, if you get to the boat, there is a password. Um, if you get there, it's labia, as she electrocutes herself. So it's kind of a beautiful moment. They know the password if they do make it to the boat. Yeah,
Is trying to call Lizzie again, but when she actually somebody answers this time, but she only hears zombies, so she thinks that Lizzie is probably dead or a zombie, and so she decides, fuck it, let's just put on some music. We're just gonna dance. That's what we're gonna do because we're probably gonna die in the next couple hours. So let's just get on in and dance.
have a party. So they
Yeah.
all do shots and they fire it up. Yeah.
So, but of
And
course, the music is going to draw all the zombies to them, which is actually a good thing for Lizzie and Jane's trapped in the car because now they are not surrounded anymore. And we got to, who's going to be back now? Samonce is back.
so Samonce is coming back. And they're making this choice. I love this is also one where they got the line too, where they're talking about, well, it's life or death right now, and it's always life or death. Why can't it be both? We can have everything we want. We can have our life and our death all at the same time. We've got to celebrate and also fight at the same time. So this is our celebration fight. This is very queer sensibility of like Stonewall being a riot, but also we're gonna have a fight at a bar, or it's gonna be a riot at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're gonna suit up because they're gonna fight it out while luring all these zombies to the place. They put on all these like crazy outfits of just like that have like sticks and things that can poke and prod and of course take out zombies as they will along the way. So
Including curling irons and all sorts of creative queer ways to kill
they
a
have what they
zombie.
have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Tiger, who is Pop's friend who got bit, she stays behind so that they can get away and martyrs herself. And then Lizzie, Jane, and Scrumpus show up with the Impala, and hitched to the Impala is a trailer float because they had mentioned that there was a parade coming up.
The Pride
And
Parade
so,
is coming up.
mhm.
And Kelsey was part of that team anyway, so she had access to that too. So she was part of like she's like, I'm in charge of the float. So yes.
So it's the end of this movie is everybody is on this place. They all are going to this ferry where they assume that they're going to get up with go to a place where there will be no zombies and they'll be safe. But they have this moment of, isn't this nice to have a happy ending?
On the
Because most zombie
sunrise at
movies
on the
do
Staten
not.
Island. Yeah, they're on the
Yeah.
Staten Island ferry, and they did talk about everyone wants a happy ending, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I am genuinely a lover of downbeat endings, but I was like, oh, this is kind of nice to end it on a high note, except Nico just scrumptious is going to wake up with some crazy pink zombie eyes. And you're like, oh, no, not
Because
safe
remember
at
they took
all.
that last pill, they weren't gonna take the pill, but
Yeah.
they had a bad batch, and Jane never got to tell them that they had a
Yeah.
bad batch.
Well, Orson Welles says like a happy ending just depends on where you stop your story. So, it's happy ending here for a moment, and then we're going to flip over into this, whatever the sequel is going to show us Queens of the Dead 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's go.
Yeah, scrumptious on the warpath. And scrumptious would eat down too, literally.
Seriously.
Brain.
And so like their skin is like luminous. I mean, how does it
Mhm.
look that beautiful? Eye makeup, perfect, the nails, all of it. Love it.
Everything.
How do you
Um,
survive Queens of the Dead?
oh my gosh. Well, don't go to the influencer event first.
Mhm, mhm.
um,
I don't know. I feel like
count on your
if they
community, count on
I
your
feel like
friends.
if they had, because everybody's going places, right? I'm like, if they had
Yeah,
stayed there, they probably would have been okay for a while. Like eventually you're going to have to leave, but I would
yeah,
imagine after the zombies initially are near the club because that's where they were going when they died, I feel like they would probably clear out after a while. I don't know.
yeah,
It's not a long-term plan. Obviously they're going to have to go somewhere else, but I was like, in this movie, I feel like if you stayed in the club, you're
yeah.
kind of okay.
You're okay, but I think the lesson is like use your resources, right? And figure out like, everyone is trying to use the communications that they can and their friends and I don't know.
Well, I
It's
think it's
hard.
also interesting because I feel like usually when we have the final girl trope, the idea is you have to do it alone, right? They
Yeah,
always want help and they can't have help because they have to figure
yeah.
it out. But in this one, it's exactly
The
the opposite.
opposite.
Like,
Yeah,
don't be alone. Use your community, use your friends, and that's what's important. And I was like, that's a
yeah.
nice message for a zombie movie, ain't it?
Yeah, that's the way you're gonna get out of it. It's about your community, your friends, and your chosen fam that are gonna get you through it. So sweet.
Yeah.
Yay,
Okay,
fam.
let's get some gore
Gore.
factor. 1, not enough blood to fill a Dixie cup. 2, a puddle of blood. 3, enough blood to gross out the average viewer. 4, a bathtub of blood. 5 is run for the barf bag. It is a 5. It's a zombie movie. We got some chewing, some gnawing, some yumminess.
I mean, straight away we get bloody Jesus like at the very beginning. So yeah, it goes hard. And it's a zombie movie and it's a Romero movie. It's still even though it's not George, it's still a Romero. So we're
Mm-hmm.
definitely getting the goodness. Chainsaws, 1 if you're desperate, 2 barely qualifies as a horror film, 3 seen worse, seen better, 4 not too shabby, 5 fantasticorical. This is a 4.5 for me. I think this movie is pretty freaking great. Um I love these performances. I love how like delightful I was smiling most of this movie. So I feel like that says something of just like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so happy. Like this movie made me really, really happy. And this is gonna be one of those ones I think I'm gonna go back to like on a day when I need to smile or feel better. I'm gonna put this on.
Yeah, I gave it a 5. I had a really good time. I thought all of
Yeah.
the performances are incredible. I thought Katy O'Brian in particular, I think, is
Oh,
the straight man, if you will, of the movie, and really really carries that so well. So if you want a zombie movie that is very gay and drag queens are zombies, this is your movie. And I'm like, I want those things 100%. So I'm so
yeah.
glad it exists.
Every day.
Mhm.
Every damn day. Yeah, obsessed. And also just like, I mean, this is a murderer's row, if you will, of like incredible actors and just like everybody's just giving. And you could tell they must have had so much fun, is what it looks like too. Like everyone
Mhm.
seems like they genuinely were just excited to be there and had a really fucking good time making this movie. And
And
that
we
bleeds
we
through as
always
well.
are so great that that bleeds through in a performance, whether or not
Right?
somebody's having a good time. Yeah,
Right?
strange,
It
but
really does
it's
make
true.
it really
Yeah,
can make a
we were
difference, the
we were
dynamics,
talking
right?
about that with Rockula last week, right? Where you're like,
Hmm.
you're in a silly, silly movie, and if you're not going for it all the way, it's gonna be a different kind of vibe, and like this is the vibe that we want. I think it's awesome. So thank you for listening to us talk about this movie. If you'd like to give us the suggestions, we always take recommendations from our listeners. You can listen to me on 2 other podcasts: Stephen King's Focus the Losers Club and JodoWOWsky Focus JodoWOWsky. And then I have 2 movies: I Know What You Need, which is a Stephen King film that you can watch on Arrows Player or message me, and Out of Print, a documentary that is having its 10th anniversary in 2026 and is going to be doing some shows.
Oh yeah, showdown. Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah. Amazing. Check all of those things out, people. Follow us, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Any recommendations, please give them to us. Give them to us, especially if it's gay and horror. Give it to us. There's so many I
Yeah.
know that that I haven't covered that I want to cover. Actually need to update a couple things on the list, I think, too, coming up. So very excited. Thank you all so much. Happy Pride, happy life,
Yeah.
happy all the good things. And thank you so much for listening and watching. And hopefully we see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Horror Movie Survival Guide is independently produced by Terry Gamble, Julia Marchesi, and Sierra Ryan. Hey, that's me. If you would like to support the show, find us on patreon.com/horror movie survival guide.